Joseph the dream interpreter. From prison to palace, Joseph was in prison. Innocent, forgotten, once favored by his father, then favored by his master. Now just another prisoner, but the Lord was still with him. And behind the silence, God was preparing something greater. Days turned into weeks, weeks into years. Still, Joseph served with excellence and grace. And then one day two new prisoners arrived. Both were former officials of Pharaoh, his chief cupbearer, and his chief baker. They had offended the king, and now shared a cell with Joseph. One morning, Joseph noticed they looked troubled. "Why do you look so sad today?" he asked. Both men had dreams vivid, troubling, and confusing, and no one could interpret them. Joseph said, "Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me your dreams." The cupbearer said, "In my dream, there was a vine with 3 branches. It budded, blossomed, and grapes ripened. I took the grapes and gave them to Pharaoh." Joseph replied, "The 3 branches are 3 days. In 3 days, Pharaoh will restore you to your position." Then he added, "When you're free, remember me. Mention me to Pharaoh, help me get out of this place." Encouraged, the baker shared his dream. "There were 3 baskets of bread on my head, and birds were eating from the top basket." Joseph's tone turned serious. "The 3 baskets are 3 days. In 3 days, Pharaoh will lift off your head, and the birds will eat your flesh." 3 days later, everything happened exactly as Joseph had said. The cupbearer returned to Pharaoh's palace, but he forgot Joseph. Days, weeks, years passed, and still Joseph waited. Then one day, Pharaoh had a dream. 2, actually, and no magician, priest, or wise man could explain them. In one dream, 7 fat cows were eaten by 7 thin ones. In another, 7 healthy heads of grain were swallowed by 7 thin, scorched ones. Pharaoh was troubled. And then, the cupbearer remembered. "Pharaoh, I know someone in prison, a Hebrew who interprets dreams." Pharaoh sent for Joseph immediately. Joseph shaved, changed clothes, and stood before the most powerful man in Egypt. Pharaoh asked, "Can you interpret dreams?" Joseph replied, "I cannot, but God can give Pharaoh the answer he seeks." Joseph listened to the dreams, then spoke with confidence. "The dreams mean the same thing. God is warning you. 7 years of great abundance are coming, followed by 7 years of famine so severe it will erase the good years. Let Pharaoh appoint a wise man to store food during the good years, to prepare for the bad." Pharaoh turned to his officials and said, "Can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God?" Then he said to Joseph, "Since God has shown you all this, you shall be in charge of my palace. Only I will be greater than you." From prisoner to prime minister, Joseph was 30 years old. He received Pharaoh's signet ring, fine garments, and a chariot. He became second in command over all Egypt. From a pit in Canaan to power in Egypt, Joseph's journey was long, painful, unfair. But through it all, God never left him. God used the pit, the prison, and the forgotten years to position Joseph in the palace. Because when you stay faithful in small things, God will trust you with greater things. It is not I, but God who gives the answer. Genesis 41-16. Subscribe and continue with episode 14. When famine strikes, and the same brothers who betrayed Joseph unknowingly bow before him.